Hello, and welcome to the sixth grade World Geography Distance Learning Plan. We are continuing our unit entitled Sawubona, I See You, Africa. In our last plan, we covered the physical geography and misconceptions about Africa, including the size and diversity of the continent. This second part of our distance learning plan will focus on the people of Africa and how we can truly see Africa's people in the spirit of Sawubona. My name is Mr. Hamilton, and I'm a sixth grade world geography teacher at Hart Middle School. Hart Middle School is a part of the District of Columbia Public Schools. I hope you are taking care of yourself and staying safe. Just know your teachers and I truly miss you during this difficult time. For weeks 8 and 9 of the World Geography Distance Learning Plan, we are going to be discussing people and culture found in Africa. We will learn about this in order to answer our compelling question: how can we see the people of Africa? Just like our last plan, we are considering this compelling question with Sawu Bona in mind. We want to see, value, and make Africa important by learning about the diversity of its people. You will answer our compelling question with an informative essay about the people and culture. Let's get started. Your World Geography Distance Learning Plan for weeks 8 and 9 has 26 pages total. As you are aware by now, these plans contain many pages, but the work is achievable and the information is valuable. In order to follow along, pay attention to the page numbers at the bottom right corner of your packet. Let's start off like we always do at the beginning of any unit with our compelling question: how can we see the people of Africa? When some people think about people in Africa, they have a very general assumption about the similarity of the people there. The truth is that there's a large number of different cultures, languages, and experiences. We will gather that information, which we will include in our informative essay, by answering our supporting questions first. Supporting question one: how are the people in Africa diverse? Supporting question two: what do languages and religions reveal about people in Africa? And supporting question three: what does money show about the people of Africa? Up first is our supporting question one: how are the people in Africa diverse? With this supporting question, we will look at two sources which show some of the diversity of the people in Africa. In our first source, source A, we will look at images from the Instagram page Everyday Africa. These images display an array of different people, activities, and cultures found across the continent. After reading this source, you will complete a See, Think, Wonder chart on page 8 about the images you have seen. After source A, we will move on to source B on pages 9 through 12. This source details a young woman and her experiences from Nigeria immigrating into the United States and experiencing how other people view the continent and the people in Africa. As you read her story, you will annotate and answer questions along the way. Once you have finished source A and B, you will chronicle your thinking and how it has changed on the bottom of page 12. This is a great place to write the things you used to think and document the things you've learned about the people of Africa so far. Now let's look at supporting question two. What do languages and religions reveal about people in Africa? For this compelling question, you will look at maps of traditional and colonial languages as well as religions found on the continent. In source C, you will read about and look at maps of the traditional languages that people speak in Africa and how those languages spread across the continent. You will also read about the colonial influence of Europeans when they arrived in the 15th century and imposed much of their culture, including languages, on the people of Africa. Many of the colonial languages split up and cover many of the areas where those traditional languages originally existed. You will also look at source D, which shows the spread and diversity of the religions found on the continent. Once you have read source C and source D, your task will have you write a summary of what the different languages and religions reveal about the people of Africa. Our final supporting question deals with the currency that can be found in Africa. What does money show about the people of Africa? As you know, what is shown on the money usually reflects what is valued in the culture where that money exists. Here in the United States, our money shows founding fathers and presidents of the United States. It also contains the phrase, "In God we trust," showing that the leaders and religion is important to our culture. The same can be said of some of the currency used in the countries of Africa. In source E, you will analyze and read about currencies from 9 different countries. Pay close attention to what is shown on these bills, as it will give you a glimpse into some of the values in these countries, including the colonial influence in their societies. After you analyze and read about the different bills, you will complete a graphic organizer found on pages 22 and 23. This graphic organizer has 3 columns: one for the people, the geography, and the history and economy being displayed. You will complete the graphic organizer with information from the money. For example, in Ghana, the money shows the timber industry with people cutting down trees. This references that in Ghana, the industry is valued over the long term implication of deforestation. In the currency for Djibouti, the currency shows nomadic herders with their camels as well as date palms because the country is covered by stony deserts and dates are an important source of food for many people. And in Malawi, the person being shown was a congressman during British colonial rule. His wearing a suit and tie versus traditional clothing shows the impact of colonial rule through the currency. You will complete the 3 columns for all of the money from the different nations. That brings us to the best part. Time to show what you know. You are going to write an informative essay that will respond to our compelling question, how can we see the people of Africa? You will use information that you gathered along the way from the images, experiences, diverse languages, different religions, and even the money to write about the diversity of people in Africa. Be sure to plan out your essay by using your outline on page 24. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your teachers. Thank you for your hard work, and as always, know that both your teacher and I appreciate your effort.